This is the NFL Play Football Podcast. I'm Jeff Fisher of High School Football America. NFL Play Football is the NFL's initiative to provide fun and engaging experience for players of all ages and skill levels. All right, we're heading to Big D. We're going to talk with Brandon Bam Harrison, former NFL player, back at his alma mater, Kimball High School. He's the head coach there. It's been a journey for him through the high school coaching ranks, but we're excited to have him here to talk about a lot of things, including the fact, and I guess I broke the news to him, that last week he was the Dallas Cowboys High School Coach of the Week. Coach, thanks for taking the time with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's great, and we got a long journey here, but since I already broke the news to you, you were shocked when we weren't rolling the tape here. How's it feel to get such an honor from the Cowboys?
It's a great honor. Like I said, I was shocked. When you sent the thing this morning, I was like, wow. But it's an amazing thing to get it from the Dallas Cowboys, one of my favorite teams.
Okay, well, you're back at your favorite high school. I mentioned it's your alma mater there at Kimball. You're in your first year, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But what I really want to talk about is what I said was a journey for you. After you left the league, after you retired, you started as an OC, I guess, there in Southern California, and then kind of headed a little east back into the home state there. Tell me a little bit about the journey in the coaching profession at the high school ranks. What got you into it, and then what got you back into the home state?
I started out, once I stopped playing ball, I started working as a recreation professional. I was working at different municipalities in Dallas where I ran recreation centers. I was the athletic director at a couple of recreation centers in this area. And then I started to get approached by people about training their kids. And then that went to me coaching. And then I ended up moving back to Southern California where I started coaching at Linfield Christian School in Temecula, California. And then I got married and we moved back to Dallas. And I got approached by someone at DeSoto High School, and I started at the middle school at DeSoto High School. At DeSoto ISD. I started at the middle school and worked my way up to the varsity, and then it just rolled from there. And I spent 11 years at DeSoto. After that, I went to Red Oak for 2.5 years. And just previously, I was at TCU also. And then this opportunity came up here at Kimball, and it was something that I could not turn down, being at a place that you walk the halls and that you've been a part of all your life, basically, your high school career. It was something that I could not turn down.
Are you still pinching yourself? I mean, really? To think about you were being coached up and you were hearing the whistle in your ear, coaches telling you do this, Bam, do that, Bam. But now you're doing that yourself. I mean, how surreal is it for you?
It's very surreal. I told somebody when I first got here that it felt like I did not leave.
Oh, wow.
Because I was so comfortable coming back. Because it was a lot of, my dad worked here before he passed away. My dad had worked here for 10 years. So I knew a lot of the people here. And when I got here, a lot of those same people were still working here. So they welcomed me with open arms, and I was able to come in and not be stressed about, getting to know people or whatever. So I knew the principal. The principal is an amazing guy, a great leader. And we had several coaches that I kept on the staff that had been here that I already knew. So that was an easy transition for me.
Talking to Bam Harrison, the Dallas Cowboys High School Coach of the Week and the head coach first year at his alma mater, Kimball High School. And one of the things I noticed when I was kind of studying up a little bit on you, Coach, was the fact that you were not only were you a good football player, I guess you were a pretty good basketball player too. I was just curious about your take on the multi-sport athlete in today's modern generation of athlete. I would think you're probably a supporter of it, but I just would love your take on it.
I'm a big supporter of doing different sports and not just concentrating on one. I think a lot of kids miss out on being able to see who they really are as athletes if they're able to do more than one thing. We offer wrestling here. We offer a lot of sports here, and I think that every child should be able to participate in everything. I wasn't the best basketball player, I know I know that I was on the floor strictly to play defense, but I was good at it. So I didn't fool myself to think that, I was a better basketball player than football player. I knew where, the grass was green on the football side, and I used basketball to help with other skills that I could use playing football. But I really think that kids should do more than just one particular sport.
Yeah, and I think you're being modest. Isn't there a saying out there? I know they have it in football, defense wins championships. It's the same in basketball, too. I think you're underselling yourself a little bit there.
Well, it was me and a couple of my best friends that, we basically, I know I was told not to shoot. I don't know about them. But if it wasn't a layup, I don't think that I was able to shoot the ball. So I didn't have a problem with that. We had a great team here at Kimball when I was here. So it wasn't a problem with me not shooting the ball.
Okay. Bam Harrison, the head coach at Kimball High School in the Dallas ISD. First year, was honored by the Cowboys last week for the Coach of the Week. And, take us back to those early days. What got you involved in the sport of football? And then more importantly, the biggest part of the question is, as coaches, every coach, right, you borrow stuff from guys you've been coached by along the way. Who are some of the guys that made an impression on you at a very early age in the sport, and maybe you're borrowing a little of what they used to do to you?
Well, I started playing football at 6 years old. My dad was my first coach, so he inspired me to play football and to be the person that I am today. But like I said, I played for the Oak Cliff Redskins, the Oak Cliff Chiefs / Oak Cliff Redskins from the time I was 6 up until I was 12. So they, I had several coaches in that organization that helped develop me. And once I got to high school, I had Coach James Jones and a lot of coaches here, Sam West, Coach Nelson. Those guys helped me become men, and Coach Dyer helped me become a man going into college. And then once I got into the profession, Coach Claude Mathis, Coach Peterman, Coach Ross at Lovejoy right now, Coach Peterman is at Duncanville right now. But those three guys helped me to understand the logistics of being a coach, being a head coach, and then going to TCU, being under the tutelage of Gary Patterson, really propelled me and mentally to see what you need to do each and every day to become a head coach, a successful head coach.
Yeah, and I know Coach Mathis very, very well, and of course DeSoto, one of the powerful teams. They're currently ranked in the High School Football America 100, powered by NFL Play Football. What I wanted to ask you is about Texas coaching specifically, right? I've got the honor in my life to know a lot of coaches like Coach Mathis and beyond in the state. And what I love about the Lone Star State is the way they treat the coaching profession, right? It is right at the top there. I would love you to take a few moments here just to kind of tell our listeners a little bit about what you think sets apart the Texas high school football coaching tradition against others. And I'm not blasting others, right? I'm just saying Texas may do it right.
Right, and I think you said it right. Everything is big in Texas. Football from Pee Wee to college in Texas, everybody takes it seriously. The Texas high school football coaches are paid more than others because people take it more serious than others. I mean, and some cities, some little towns, that's all they have is football. So that's the reason why they take it seriously. And I think just football period in Texas is something that you only you really can't explain it to other people. They kind of got to see it for themselves because, some towns shut down. Mm-hmm. When we were in DeSoto and Cedar Hill game, those towns are going to be shut down when we play. So those are the type of things that you got to look at when you're looking at Texas football. It's second to none. Florida has a lot of great athletes. Georgia does, but when you come to Texas, you see the big stadiums. You see, you see the nice facilities. You go to Allen and Prosper, you see those facilities, people are putting money into their facilities so that, that's how serious they take it. So it's second to none with Texas. Far as, like you said, I'm not blasting any other state, but everything runs through Texas when it comes to football.
Yeah. No doubt about that. Bam Harrison on the line. He was the Cowboys High School Coach of the Week last week, and we congratulate him for that. He's on the podcast here on NFL Play Football. And Coach, you mentioned earlier that when you came in there, you kept some of the coaches from before. I always like asking this to a guy that comes out of the league and goes into the coaching profession. I would think one of the hardest things, right, is delegating, because you're the CEO of the Kimball High School football program, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about how you approach that, and specifically, how did you put your staff together? What are you looking for when you're talking to a guy that maybe you're OC or your DC or just an assistant, maybe at the JV level or something?
Well, first of all, I like I said, I had great mentors in Claude Mathis and Chris Ross and Coach Peterman. They all had different styles, and I tried to take a little bit of that from each one of them. And, the main thing you take from all three of them is that you need men that love kids and love to be able to help kids. If you're in this business and you don't love kids, you don't need to be in this business. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing I take from to try to find a good coach. And you got to be energetic. I need coaches that are going to be energetic and be the same way every day. I need coaches that's going to be fair to kids. And I dislike using the F word, the fair, because that's what parents use. So I don't too much like the F word. But if you're fair and firm with a kid, and if you're taking care of kids, nobody can ever say anything bad about you because you're taking care of kids. So at the end of the day, X's and O's are X's and O's. You could teach people X's and O's, but you can't teach people the humility of just treating kids the correct way and leading them in the correct direction.
That's very, very well said. Bam Harrison on the line, the Kimball head coach right now, first year with the program there. And I was just curious, Coach, you come from the offensive side of things. You're a good special teams player as well on kick and punt returns. What type of coach are you? I would assume it's offense first, but I don't know. I'm just curious. What's your philosophy, or do you got to be well rounded?
Yes. I learned this from Coach Ross. Coach Ross knew offense, defense, and special teams. So what I try to do is stay away from the offense because that's second nature. Mm-hmm. So I try to, stay with the defense a little bit more so I can understand what they're doing. And then with the special teams, I'm really hands-on with them because I learned from Coach Peterman that, you got to have a great special team because those are the things that'll hurt you. So I dibble and dabble. I try to stay away from the offense, but I dibble and dabble with the defense, and I'm very hands-on with the special teams right now.
We just drew a perfect circle there. We were talking defense and basketball, and now we found out you're dabbling and dibbling and all that other good stuff with your defense. Hey, Coach, before I let you go here, one of the great things about the world these days, and I told you before I rolled the tape here, I'm 62, so there was no such thing as Google back in the day. And you mentioned that there were a lot of people that were there when you were a player. I'm just curious, what about your own players? Have they Googled you? Do they know who you are and what you did prior to becoming the coach there?
Some of them do, and some of them, their parents and their aunties and their the uncles know me, so they're able to hear some things from their from their family members. So, and I'm in the area that I grew up in, so it's kind of easy for the so-called legend of Bam to be, the stories to be told because I'm still in my area, and I'm so grateful and thankful that I'm able to, to be back at my alma mater. That, that like I said, I walk these halls, so and I tell the kids all the time, I understand what you're going through because I was you when I was 16, 17, 18 years old. So that's the common factor that me and the players have is if both of us have walked through these halls.
Well, I guess you could say it this way. The legend of BAM continues to grow, and I guess you can go home again. And you've done that. And, Coach, congratulations on winning the award. Congratulations on having the job there. And more importantly, thank you for taking the time and giving back to the kids. Our youth needs it today, and it's very important to have leaders like yourself doing that. So thanks for taking the time to join us, and continued success with the program there.
Thank you so much.
And that's the NFL Play Football Podcast, the NFL's initiative to provide fun and engaging experience for players of all ages and skill levels. And coaches, don't forget to check out playfootball.nfl.com for some great resources to help you improve in the coaching profession. I'm Jeff Fisher of High School Football America, and you've been listening to the Play Football Podcast.